it is an unstatutory aspect of deduction. So therefore, sometimes government will come and say all unstatutory deductions should be stopped, pending maybe the time it will be resumed. So this has been affecting the scheme from time to time. Stoppage of the deductions by the government.
Sometimes for months.
Sometimes for months, even for years. That of the secondary school, I think it's more than 3-4 years now. And we have been following, we have been pursuing for the resumption of these deductions for secondary school teachers up to now. And I could remember last year, we met at the Deputy Governor's office where we lodged this complaint, and then he directed the head of service to resume the deductions of this money from secondary school teachers. But we have provided them with all data, with all information of these teachers for them to effect these deductions again. But up to now, we still experiencing deductions of these secondary school teachers annual subscription. And it's giving us sleepless night, because the primary school teachers see the secondary school teachers as if they don't want, or they are not ready to continue with the subscription to annual scheme. It's not true. It is the government policy. None of the secondary teachers have ever complained that don't deduct my money for annual subscription. It is the government policy that is surrounding all this issue of non-reduction of secondary school teachers annual subscription.
Okay,
we will continue to do our best.
Okay.
We feel that they resume the deduction of secondary school teachers.
Okay, thank you so much, Comrade Akayogo Adamu Mohammed. The Chairman Board of Trustees, NUT, and you've had the submission of the Chairman on this issue of subscription to NUT. And so far, what can you say is the success story of the NUT Endwell as a welfare package?
Thank you so much, Dr. Antada, and good morning, viewers. I'm Ahmed Jafar once again, the BOT chairman. Though newly in the office, just because I started just this January.
What did you say?
I need to talk. I've been a member of the BOT. 91.7. And as a teacher, I retired sometimes last year. And I am an active member of this Endwell scheme. And I want to see that Endwell is a saving ground for teachers in Niger State. You see, virtually all what the chairman said is true. I teach in the secondary school. I was a class teacher to principal, from principal to director, science and technical school before my retirement. But I have been saving with Endwell. And I think every teacher, every meeting, I tell my teachers, please participate in saving. Even not in Endwell, but in any scheme, because we all know it. If not because of the coming of this government, when you retire, you don't know when you are going to be given a gratuity.
Exactly.
In fact, even the pension, nobody knows when. It is maybe the last regime that has made pension now a standard thing in Niger State. When you retire, you can walk out to your pension and then you get it. But if not, pension has been a problem. And then gratuity is a no-go area. But now the government, we are happy that the government has started paying some people their gratuity. But I want to say that, looking at myself as an example, when I was serving, in fact, what I was saving before my retirement was 30,000. The accountant is here. Even when the government stopped deduction, I was taking my money physically to the scheme because I have a target. I want to have my gratuity with my sweat because I don't know when the government will pay me. And I want to tell you, when I was going, I went away buoyantly because I got nothing less than 3 million. And for somebody to retire, and with that money, in Niger State, I think it's a different, it's an applause to the scheme.
Exactly.
I just like I said, I have been a principal. Even my colleague and the ANCOS president for 5 years in Niger State. You will see my colleague that retired as a principal, maybe this in December. We are now in January. That person will be going around to beg because he has not saved anything. And that is a very big challenge to the teaching profession. I know it is not just in teaching profession, but virtually in all cadre of life. But somebody have to plan.
Exactly.
And with this scheme of End Well, I think the problem the scheme is having in Nigeria State is that it has taken too much. You can see the structure. Look at that school. Even if it is a government school, you know that something has been invested there. And we have houses, we have a bank, we have so many assets that are there in the ground, land and whatever. So you see all these things, where the money of our subscribers is used to purchase all this. And when you are going, apart from the money you have saved, there is an interest that goes with this money. So it is an applause for our members to even thank the union for bringing out this. I want to say that so many unions wanted to do that, but did not get it right. You find that challenge here, challenge there. In fact, now that I am on board as the chairman, I want even to bring new programs where even the retiree can start saving. So that saving now today, we all know it in this country that when you don't save, sincerely you are in problem. No matter how little you get. So the chairman has said it the way it is, and I think this is the little I can control, and say that scheme is a success, and we will never allow it to go. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let me come to the State Secretary of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Malam Musa Umakuta. Looking at these success stories of the NUT End Well, and you know, teachers keep retiring on a daily basis. To what extent has this affected the turnover of what is being generated in the End Well?
Well, good morning once again, Dr. Dantala. The scheme, as rightly pointed out by the chairman and the BOT chairman, there's a success story behind it. Just as he said, when a child retires, or he changes cadre, or as a result of death, we don't hold that person for more than 3 weeks. We pay his service with an interest of 12%. That is what the scheme does. And the chairman said something, as per government bottleneck in subscription and loan repayment, we have issues there. We've given out loans, particularly to secondary school teachers. And up to now, the loan is still hanging with some of them, though very few of them have tried to come and pay directly to the department. But we still have more than how many people, more than 400 teachers that have taken loan from the scheme.
From secondary school?
Yeah, from secondary school. That have taken loan from the scheme, and up to now, that loan is still hanging with them. So the policy we adopt now, based on the loan repayment or of the loan repayment, what we do now is, if you need loan, we give you based on what you have saved. For instance, if you have saved 100,000 naira, I need a loan of 150. We look at your savings. You save only 100,000. We give you 80,000. We now keep 20,000 in case if you refund our money through by way of a repayment, good and fine. If you don't, any day you are going, we tell you, okay, so year, so period, you receive a loan of 80,000. Your balance is 20,000 plus the interest of 12,000. We say to you. That's how we do.
Okay, and that has been going on.
It has been going smoothly, no issue there.
Okay, now you have talked about secondary school teachers' inability to repay some of their loans, and there are up to about 400 of them. What effort are you making to ensure that secondary school teachers resume subscription of NUT End Well?
Well, I think I don't have to repeat myself. The DOT chairman have said. I mean, the chairman said it, and we are making effort with the government to ensure that resumption of a subscription and loan repayment takes place.
Now, the comrade Akayogo, the deputy governor gave a direct to the head of service then to resume the deduction of the NUT and this thing. Yet that has not been effected. Were you able to go back to the deputy governor or approach the head of service to intimate him on the directive of the deputy governor?
Several times we have, we'll continue to do it, but all correspondences requested by the head of service office and the OC salaries of the head of service office, if I have provided them with all the information they requested for to resume these deductions of loans taken by the secondary school teachers and also to resume their subscription. But for almost a year now, there is no any positive results from this. But we continue to visit the office of the head of service and that of the OC salaries of the head of service office. And they have been telling us that they were going to resume the deductions. But inshallah, next week we will still go there to still remind them of this very important, at least assignment, as directed by the deputy governor then, that they should resume these deductions of secondary school teachers to NWC. We will still go back and meet them.
Okay, let me also take you on the issue of the NUT Endwell School that appears to be in some kind of imbroglio at the moment. Maybe can you give us a picture of the scenario of the NUT Endwell School?
Well, thank you, Dr. Dantala. The issue of Endwell School, people out there see it as a saga between the scheme and the Rezima consults that have been handling the school. I want everybody to know that it was a contract agreement that was entered with the Rezima consults to establish the Endwell School. The last contract MOU that was entered was for 5 years, and it came to elapse on the 31st of December 2024. They wrote to us that their contract term is coming to an end, and we responded acknowledging and appreciating them for what they have done for teachers of Niger State, and requested them to still indicate interest if they want to still be re-engaged by the scheme. But what we got was a response of declining from re-engagement. And with this, the public, now the information out was, rumor going out was that the school is going to have a problem because of the declining of this Rezima consult. And some people have been saying they are being sacked. Nobody sacked them, and even thought of sacking them. It was voluntary. A MOU was entered. They agreed to serve for 5 years, and when we requested them for extension, they declined. And as a system, we have to look for somebody who will take over from the Rezima consult,
running the affairs
of the school, and that has been done. Because of this rumor, negative rumor going around, we went to the school, we met with the school management and the entire staff, academic and non-academic staff of the school. We met with them. We told them that the scheme has no any intention of sacking any of them. Whoever is willing to continue to serve in the school should remain. We don't have any problem. And the Rezima that have declined to continue have not ever reported any of these staff to the scheme that maybe his conduct. We have not ever gotten that complaint from the Rizima consult, and we assured them that let them continue to train these children, and we're going to provide them with all what is needed for them to continue to run the affairs of the school. And we have recorded success as far as the resumption is concerned of the school. I think over 85% of students have resumed in the school. Presently, as we are talking to you, over 85%. And almost all the teachers are still in the school teaching these children. And we assure them of our total commitment in ensuring that that school continue to progress from strength to strength.
Okay, now that the Rezimat consult have decided to walk away, what becomes of the financial aspect of running the school, teachers' remunerations, maintenance, provisions of other facilities and all of that? Is MUT taking over, or are you looking for another entity to take over the running of the school?
No, the school is a business venture for teachers, and these pupils and students that are in the school, they register, they pay. So the MUT is not taking over. It is the scheme that will take responsibility of the remuneration of these teachers. They will pay them their salaries and the cost of running the school. It's going to be derived from the registration of these students in the school. So we don't have any challenge as far as that issue is concerned, because it is normal that when you sign an agreement of engagement with anybody, an agreement is reached, we pay you so amount maybe at the end of every month, and that has not been a challenge to us. Teachers will continue, or that school will continue to receive their normal remuneration, and we did promise them that if there is what do I say? This registration of this student, what we'll get from the registration, if it is something that we have to come back to the scheme and the NUT management and look at it, so that we motivate these teachers the more, and they will also give their best to these students. We encourage them, we motivate the teachers, and make sure that, yes, their welfare is well taken of, taken care. So the teachers and students presently are in school, learning and teaching.
Okay, thank you so much, Comrade Akayago. Okay, the Chairman Board of Trustees, now with the exit of the consult, what effort are you making in getting probably a new consultant to take over the school, looking at the fact that the school could be better run by a private entity than probably the scheme running the school itself? I wouldn't know if I'm right or wrong, but again, that is my own opinion.
Yes, thank you very much for this question. You see, before I go into this question, there is something I want to see which we have passed that level anyway, on this level of non-deduction from source of the secondary school teachers. Because I was just discussing with my chairman that we will start sensitizing teachers zone by zone for them to see the need of contribution. If the government or any other channel is trying to cause a havoc to them, because what I want to believe is that when you are saving for yourself. You are not saving for anybody. You are not saving for MUT. MUT is not saying bring your money so that we can run. No, there is what they call dues, which is deduct from every member of teachers to the union to be run. So, but this issue of endowment it is not even all teachers that are members of NDWEL, especially in secondary school. It is even in primary school that you say maybe more than 80% are members of NDWEL. But in secondary school, it is on interest. And I think up to now, it is that interest that we follow. There is no full enforcement. But you see, sometimes even those that are making noise are not even contributing to the scheme. That is sometimes our problem. You see, it's just like our elections. Sometimes when somebody contests and loses, then he go out to blackmail, and then maybe that will now give you what you want. That is on that area. And now your question.
Sorry, please. Maybe a follow-up to that issue of this subscription and the cries of our teachers. You see, when we met on the 21st of December last year, and it was resolved 5,000 should be deducted, maybe from the teacher's salary. But when we resolved, we told our branches, executive, cooperative officers, and the presidents of cooperative that they should all step this decision down to our grassroots members and report back to us of either agreeing to review it up to 5,000 or 3,000 or 7,000. Let them report back to us. And no month was mentioned for the commencement of these deductions. We have to wait for the reports from our branches, then we study and see the percentage of the acceptance from the members at the grassroots level. So up to now, we are still waiting for the leadership of branches to at least furnish us with the reports from these various branches. And some people are seeing it as if we're going to say, okay, by this end of January or February, deductions are going to commence. Nobody have ever said that. And even if we get the reports from the branches, one, we have to send a circular out to our members to know when these deductions will commence from their salaries. So I want our members to understand that first, we did not say we're going to commence these deductions January or February. No, that the branches executive should sensitize them on the importance of reviewing this subscription first and report back to the state. It is from there the state will now sit down and see the level of acceptance of either 3, 5, or 7,000. And if we see, that's when we now communicate the branches on when the deductions is going to commence. So members should understand this. Nobody have ever said we're going to start it maybe January or February or March. No month specifically have mentioned to be the month that the deduction is going to be effected.
Okay. Thank you so much, Comrade Akayogo Adamu Mohammed. You can join us
on the school issue.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes. Thank you once again. On the school issue which you asked, you see, after we went to the school to discuss with the teachers and all the staff employed under that school by the consult, we went to inform them that nobody is having the interest of sending anybody away. Anyone that have the interest to remain is as free as possible, remain and do his job. In fact, there was a day the present head teacher of that school brought a woman crying that somebody said she should leave. We said, who said you should leave? We are in control now. remain and do your work. Abi, do you have another work? She said, no. I said, where are you going to? If you have another work that is better, we can't stop you. But if not, remain and continue your work. So I have went there after the general meeting we had with them to have separate meeting with various head of the school before resumption. And on the day of resumption, in fact, first thing in the morning I was there with the teachers to see compliance. And I want to tell you, it was fantastic. First day, students were there, virtually all teachers were there, and I have to stay and follow them class to class to see is teaching commencing. And sincerely speaking, before I left that place, I was satisfied. Out of about 600 students that we have and people, we have more than 400 on the first day. You know, this is not something that you see in most of our schools. The first day. The second day, we are about 500 plus. So it is just as if we are 100% with the assurance. And on other things that they require, is it the feeding, the running of the bus, the maintenance of the school. In fact, even most of them, we are happy that for the first time, for what they have seen happening. Because like the drivers, they were given the free hand. Go and repair, go and purchase fuel. All what matters.
Stationaries and other people.
Everything provided. So that we don't want to hear challenge from the management. Everything was, we are provided so that the school can commence. And I want to say, in fact, we could have even come with one of the head teachers so that you will hear from his mouth. Everything, and we are monitoring. I told them as a teacher, you know, this is a school of the professionals. We are teachers. And teaching should not be a new thing to us. So we are also in that school and to monitor and to assess what is happening. And I want to tell you that it has been very, very fantastic.
Now, in case if there's a new interest,
Yes.
is the school open for a new consultant?
Well, we are still thinking about that. We are thinking about that. And we are thinking of the financial implication. Just like that school is built to run so that we can have interest for members. They just told you that a percentage is given to members.
Exactly.
So if there is nothing coming in, where will the union get money to pay interest? And knowing very well that we have established so much, just like I said before, the construction of that school, the construction of the bank, the shops, what the accommodation for hiring and other things. So it is the money of members that is now going there. In fact, if not because of the taxes and whatever that the union has done, we could have reached a point where even when somebody is going, there is no money to give him. But I want to tell you that nobody, and we all know the rate of retirement this time around. So much, because most people that we are employing those days, you know, there is no employment now. Most people now are going. Exactly. And every day, even yesterday when I went to the office of the admin secretary, so many teachers were there with the application. And we have promised them, immediately you retire, your money will be given. Exactly. Because we know that is where problem will come if that money is not refunded. Because that is the promise of the scheme.
Okay, I thank you so much. Yes, okay, yes.
Okay. Good morning, listeners. I think I just want to make a little contribution on this issue of secondary school deductions. If I may go to the history, what made the stoppage of this deduction was as a result of non-remittance in the year precisely 2020, when monies were deducted. Immediately after deduction, the money used to be sent to our account. But at the end of 2020, October, November, December, the money was held with the government without remittance. So it got to the point that all the cooperatives in Niger State were having over 2 billion naira with the government. So we had series of meetings with the Commissioner of Finance then, the Accountant General, which they say, okay, let's stop all these deductions so that when the government will be paying instrumentally until when this money is fully paid before they resume deduction. That is the main reason why deductions were stopped then. And when that was stopped, about the efforts made by the scheme, I think we made provision of our account numbers to all the local government coordinators, telling members, particularly those that were given loan, because we have loan of about 60 million with secondary school teachers alone. So we told them to be paying into that, and some that are even willing to pay in their subscription, they should also do that. But most of them, we have just like 1% I can say that are compliant to that. Then quickly to the issue of this review. That review of subscription, I think, is very, very important now, because when briefly before the chairperson, the former chairperson, went away, she has been hammering on this, because as my chairman and others said earlier, on monthly basis we have number of people or teachers that are retired, and when these people are going, we have to pay them their savings with us. And I can tell you, on monthly basis we have average of over 100 members that are going, which the little money we get, as soon as the money comes in, it also goes to the members. And our major complaint has been, we've spent a number of years without giving loan. How can we give loan when we are not having money to save?
Yes, exactly.
So when this money is increased, for example, as we said or suggested, 5,000 naira, we have like triple of what we have been having. So if we have like between now and maybe December, we have more money. Because before we used to spend like 250 to 300 million to buy commodities to give teachers. If you want to get such quantity of items that we used to buy, you have to pay over 1 billion naira. And with this
in view of the market situation now.
Exactly. And with this situation now, I don't think we can, with 1,000 naira, we can spend even 3 years now without having what we should use to buy items.
Hence, this is the justification for the increase in the subscription.
Exactly.
And I think it's a very plausible suggestion, looking at the current economic situation and the rate of inflation as well.
Yes.
What you can buy with 1,000 naira from 2-3 years back, you can buy it with even 4,000 naira. And I think that is good. Okay, you can join us on this discussion through the number 09038808883. You can visit our Facebook page on Prestigefm91.7mx to send in your text message. Your contributions will add a lot of dimensions to our discussion this morning. We are featuring the Teachers End Well and the scheme, the issue around the upward review of the subscription, as well as the Teachers End Well School. Okay, we've missed this one. And okay, before we pick our first call, recently there was an transfer exercise, mass transfer exercise of teachers in secondary school. That was a plausible one coming from the ministry, and it's a routine exercise usually carried out in the civil service. But again, that did not go down well with a lot of teachers. The lamentations were so many. Some teachers were accused of overstaying in certain stations, hence they have become lured onto the inner authorities of the schools because of the level of their establishment. Now, the NUT chairman, Madam Akairu, how have you taken this mass transfer?
Well, thank you very much. The issue of transfer of teachers recently by the ministry, I think is a commendable one. As a civil servant, when you are signing, you know that yes, you can be transferred from one station to the other. Of course, we have not gotten it for long, a massed one like this one. And this is as a result of non-productivity of some of us who have stayed long in a particular station.
Exactly.
You discover that, as you have said, they become lords of the environment. And sometimes, as administrators, if a principal maybe is transferred to that school, you find it very difficult
To control them.
to control them. So this has been reaching the ministry, and they are aware, and they felt that late have this transfer of teachers. But we know there are challenges. There's no way one can get it 100%. The challenges are, in some of the schools, you discover that all teachers are being transferred without replacement or taking other teachers to that school. Of course, we have identified all these problems and talked to the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry for Basic and Secondary Education, and she has taken note of that they're going to address all those all issues of that nature. And as teachers, I want to call on them to take this transfer with good faith and do their best. Let them change the environment or the communities they are posted to, so that the community and students of the school will see a difference. Let them do their best in impacting this knowledge to these children. And those with genuine complaint we have been receiving and taking it to the ministry, for ministry to have a rethink on it and see the possibility of at least addressing the problems. You see, teachers, especially in Chanchaga, maybe local government, here in local government, you see, we made it very clear that if they are going to be transferred, let them be transferred within Chanchaga, schools within Chanchaga. But a teacher who is teaching maybe in Suleja and is taken to Kontagora, honestly speaking, even the commissioner, of course, oversight of the huge number of teachers that have been transferred. You see, there's no way they can get it correctly. So they are now addressing all these issues of maybe transferring teachers probably from Suleja maybe to Kontagora, or from Suleja or to Bida. All these issues have been taken to the Honorable Commissioner, and she is taking her time to address the issues.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's go to the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Doctor.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Chairman NUT and the crew members. My name is Comrade Babaganagulu.
Okay,
Good morning.
Good morning. Alhamdulillah, thank you very much for coming out this time around to air out views on this end well and possibly to address people on the issues that are lingering. In fact, I have to be sincere with you. Teachers are grumbling that deduction will commence and they want to inflate the figure compared to 1,000 naira that has been in place. Unlike now that you come to the public to tell the teachers what is going on. But I must tell you, sir, that you should know that most of the problems we used to have with this team is as a result of misinformation or people sitting the branches that will not go to disseminate the necessary information to the members who are contributing to this scheme. You see, you had a meeting with them. Instead of them to go down to the grassroots and let the teachers know that this is what is happening and this is what was decided, that it should be either 5,000, 3,000 or 7,000. That was not really taken to the masses or maybe the members who are subscribers. And that is why they are grumbling. So the major problem the previous people had on issue of this scheme is as a result of concealing information, that people didn't get exact information that they're supposed to have so that they can embark on this, knowing fully that the scheme is meant for teachers, and at the end of the day, if it is done judiciously, some teachers are going to enjoy it. But we don't have information. People are not informed about what is happening, and that is why we are getting it wrong. So I want you people to now talk to the people at the branches so that they can go down and let the teachers know exactly the intent or the intention of this scheme or the leaders of the scheme. Another thing is, we now thank God there is another board of trustees on the board. Sir, thank you very much. We know that you are a teacher, and any pain that a teacher is passing through, there is none that you don't know as a teacher. We want you people to sit tight and see that teachers who are going to contribute to this scheme enjoy and get the benefit of what they are contributing to, because that was the major problem, and that has been the lingering problem that teachers are complaining about. So I want to thank you for coming out today to tell people what exactly you want to do and how you want to do it. Let there be justice. Let there be open policy that teachers will know that this is where the scheme is heading to, and a lot of people will want to contribute to it. Secondly, about secondary school teachers, whom they said are not willing to contribute, or some are not coming up with the policy of contribution. So it is all about the policy, how the whole thing is being run. It shouldn't be run as if it's a personal property. Let there be open policy, as I've said earlier. Everybody should be carried along. They should know what they are contributing, how the contribution will go, what they stand to benefit, and you discover that everybody will go into it. So thank you very much for being part of this program this morning. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Baba Gana Gulu, for your contributions. And I think holding information in every system is injurious to such a system. Now that the NUT Endwell board chairman is here, the NUT chairman is equally here, I believe that the necessary information have trickled down to the beneficiaries themselves, and everybody will try as much as possible to reposition himself to key in properly into the scheme. Omar Nazumi is saying, good morning, NUT Endwell is doing well, but don't you think it's high time you build a hospital? A small one at that, at least for the poor teachers who are in service or those who are retired and ailing can patronize it at a subsidized rate. I think it's a plausible suggestion. Okay,
a good one.
Jafar Ibrahim Bindiga is saying, good morning, and your distinguished guest from the NUT ESCOs. As we delve into the discussion on teachers' Endwell, I'd like to emphasize the importance of prioritizing teachers' welfare and retirement benefits. Ensuring a secure and dignified post-service life for our educators is crucial for morale, motivation, and the overall quality of education. I'm eager to hear the ESCO's perspectives and recommendations on how to address the challenges surrounding the teachers' Endwell. Let's work together to create a more sustainable and supportive system for our dedicated teachers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jafar Ibrahim Bendiga, for your contribution. And then Sadiq Haruna Kijipta is saying, okay, I'm watching you live from Kijipta in Katsina State. Thank you so much, Abukar Sadiq Haruna Kijipta. And then Sani Baban Sani is saying, good morning. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, Sani Baban Sani, for your contributions. Let's pick the last call. Hello, good morning.
Dr. Dantila, good morning.
Morning, briefly.
Jimo Idris on the line.
Okay, Jimo Idris from Bidda. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, let me be brief.
Yeah.
Please, they should know that teachers have become slaves to the society. Teachers are slaves to even the union members too, the union leaders. Which we expect the leader should be the one that will be defending the teachers, but very unfortunate, the unions collaborate with the government and the top leaders. Very unfortunate. If you are transferring a teacher, it does not matter, but you should be able to put a lot of things into consideration, most especially with the economic situation. Imagine a teacher who's supposed to be in his own area. You are transferring it to another place that at the end of the day, if you look at the transportation, it will be much more than what is taken. Then on the second part again, Dr. Dantala, in fact, very disappointing with what the unions are doing. You're supposed to be the one defending this teacher. Imagine you are screening these people at a critical period. Imagine a teacher who will be working for more than 6 months, screening his own and no payment. How do you expect this person to survive? Are you afraid of telling the government
Mr. Jimo from listen to me. It's either you are talking from the figment of your imaginations, or you may have been told by someone. I think there was never a point in time in Niger State where teachers owe salary up to 6 months, whether in screening or in anywhere. We are all witness to all of this. If we have to make submissions, let us make sincere submissions so that on the long run, we should be able to paint the government in good light. There was never a time, I still stand to be corrected, where the government have not paid salary for 6 months. So we have to be sincere in all of our submissions. Thank you so much for being here, Comrade Akayogo Adamu Mohammed. Your final word, our time is
Thank you. In the first place, I want to thank the viewers and listeners, and also to assure our members that by February 2025, inshallah, the scheme and the NUT will go out zone by zone for sensitization of our members at the grassroots, by God's grace, inshallah.
Okay, Madam Ahmed Jafar, the NUT Board Chairman, Niger State, your final words.
Listeners, and particularly the teachers, please be patient with us. We have a lot at hand, and we are promising you that this scheme will be a savior for all members that are contributors. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. The financial officer, NUT and
well, thank you, sir. I think my last word would be an appeal to our members that despite the suspension of this deduction, they should try to make effort personally to be paying, since we have our account numbers available with them. So that at the end of the day, when you are going, you have something reasonable to go home with.
Okay, NUT Secretary, your last word to the new teachers that are employed.
Well, they should look to, they should discharge their duties judiciously.
And key into the NUT scheme.
And key into the NUT scheme. Once again, I want to appeal to our members that if they are doubting any information, they should reach out to the Secretariat to get the information properly from the grassroots.
Okay, thank you so much, all of you, the Comrade Akayogo Adamu Mohammed and the crew. We sincerely appreciate your presence here and your contributions as well. Listeners, this is where we come to the end of the program. Stephen Gia has been